I've got something to say to you, Connie. Why is it just about the only thing you're good for around here is doing housework, and yet you can't even cook a decent meal? Why on earth do I even allow the privilege of living in this house? There is absolutely no redeeming qualities to you at all. I was just talking to Ashley about you, and I was so relieved to see that we were both on the same page about you. We had such a great time telling each other all the things we hate the most about you. There you are, Talia. Thank goodness, I've been waiting to hear from you for hours. You said that you were going to eat dinner at the house tonight, so I got everything ready for you, but once the sun went down and I hadn't heard from you, I was starting to get really worried. Jonas told me that he was texting you too. Haven't you been checking your phone? Oh, for the love of Pete, Connie! Why are you getting so worked up over me setting down my phone for a few hours? My plans changed. My dear Ashley came home for the first time in forever. I was so happy. I told her that we needed to go out to dinner some night to celebrate, and she said she was thinking the same thing. So, since we were both so into the idea, we decided to go out tonight. Isn't that something? We always see eye to eye on everything. It's so wonderful to have a connection with my daughter. My real daughter, that is. You and I are like polar opposites. It's been so hard for me to deal with you being in the house all the time. Lately, I've been feeling like I need to get a break from you. I see. Well, I'm glad that you and Ashley had a good time together. But I wish you could have shot me a text to let me know. You asked me to make dinner, so I planned on having it ready around the time you usually come home. There it is again. You just can't help yourself, can you? I have done my very best to put up with you, but I simply can't do it any longer. That is what I hate about you, Connie. I'm not sure what you mean. Why do you insist on making snide remarks at me every single chance that you get? Is that how your parents raised you, to be such an overbearing scold? I'll bet that's where you got it. No matter what happens, you always have to be in the right. You always have to be the victim. You never put 1 ounce of thought toward my plans or my needs. You just keep pushing your own opinions and ideals onto everyone else. I am so sick and tired of that attitude of yours. That wasn't my intention at all, Talia. In fact, I went out of my way to make dinner line up with your schedule, just like I do every day. I understand that circumstances can change, but in that event, I really wish you would send me a simple text to let me know. That's all I'm saying. You really don't understand what your position is, do you? I'm not sure I know what you're referring to. I deigned to allow you to marry my son, and now, out of the kindness of my heart, I'm allowing you to live in my house with me. Ashley told me a lot of things about you tonight, and it all makes perfect sense to me now. I don't need to be concerned about your feelings whatsoever. You're nothing but my lowly daughter-in-law, and you do not have the right to talk to me like you are. Oh, great. Look, I have no idea what sort of nonsense Ashley was saying to you tonight, but if I'm being completely honest, you never really seemed like you care about my feelings in the first place. And still you're talking back to me like a snotty teenager. Oh, and don't think I haven't noticed that your cooking has gotten worse over time. What have you been doing to your cooking, Have you been adding anything to it? Maybe poison? No, I have not been poisoning you. I was never very good at cooking. It's one of my least favorite things to do. I told you all about that before, didn't I? But in spite of that, I decided that I should do whatever I could to help support the family, so I cook dinner for everyone every day. Don't lie to me. Ever since Ashley's been staying with us, your food definitely tastes worse. Not that your cooking was ever good, but it's far worse than usual lately. You say you're not poisoning me, and we'll assume you're telling the truth for now. But that just means that you're doing it to make Ashley unhappy. That's not what I'm doing at all. I wish I knew what was going on. I'm tasting the food as I cook, and it always seems fine up until I serve it. Your food is always either too spicy, too sweet, or too salty. You never get a good flavor balance. I've been baffled by your inability to properly fold a shirt, sweep the floor, or do any other mundane task up until now. But thanks to Ashley, I know exactly what you're doing. You're doing it on purpose to bother me. Please understand, both Jonas and I have our own jobs. We decided before we got married that we would split up the household duties 50-50. Yes, I told that to Ashley too, and she agrees with me. That's absolutely scandalous. Housework is a woman's responsibility. That's the way it's always been, and that's the way it always will be. What about your husband, though? He helps out an awful lot with the housework, doesn't he? He's different. He actually enjoys doing housework. Cooking also happens to be a hobby of his. I suppose he's been rather busy lately, so he only ever cooks on the weekends. And even though you were gifted with a father-in-law who, for God knows what reason, enjoys doing the housework, you still do nothing but complain about everything. I would say that's a bit of an overstatement. Speaking of overstate, I think you've overstayed your welcome. How long are you planning on living with us anyway? Why do you ask? Because there are no benefits whatsoever to having you in the house. My real daughter is coming to stay with us, so I can help her take care of the baby after she gives birth. That means you need to get out. Clear all your things out of your room immediately. I'm giving her your room. What's wrong with the guest room she's sleeping in right now? It's far too small. All the bedrooms other than the master bedroom are the same size. Well, then it feels too small. In any case, you're moving out as soon as possible. Is this all coming from Ashley, too? Of course it isn't. I've been wanting to have you out of my sight for as long as you've been living with us. And honestly, how thick can you possibly be? I was sure you would take the hint that you're neither wanted nor needed once Ashley came to stay with us. You continue to surprise me, Connie, and never in a good way. I see. Sorry to disappoint you. Spare me your apologies and get packing. I want you completely gone from my house by the time I get back. Do I make myself clear? That means you have just a few hours left, so do hurry. You're kicking me out tonight? Would you like me to refer you to some nice homeless shelters in the area? I'll pass. Talia, are you really sure you want to do this? Am I sure? I've never been more sure of anything in my life. All you do in the house is get in the way of my happiness. You'll have to find someone else who's willing to put up with you. Or if you can't, you'll just have to find yourself a nice cardboard box to live in. All right then. I'll be leaving. And taking the $5,000 per month I put in toward our living expenses with me. I wish you all the best of luck making ends meet without me. Are you serious? We'll be doing just fine without your dead weight. Remember, you have until midnight tonight to get out. And make sure you leave a clean room when you go. As you wish. What on earth? What did you do, Connie? All our furniture, appliances, the TV, the microwave, the beds, everything is gone. What did you do with all of our things, you little thief? You asked me to take all my stuff out of the house, so I did. Did I not leave it clean enough for you? Don't get smart with me. Did you think you would be able to just get away with stealing all of my things? Bring it all back immediately, or else I'm calling the police. That won't do you any good. And why not? I'm just saying I don't think the police are going to be able to make me give you guys all of my stuff. Seeing as though, it's mine. What do you mean? I mean just what I said. Every single piece of furniture, appliance, and every other electronic device was bought by Jonas and I. We've just been letting you use them free of charge. And you told me to take my stuff and leave, so I did. What's the problem? Did you forget what it was like in there when we moved in? The newest thing you had was a TV from 20 years ago. Half of the other stuff was broken, so we bought an entire new set of household essentials for you. You did? I don't remember that. Well, it's the truth. I can show you the receipts if you want. But what is Jonas going to do now? How is he going to live here like this? There's not even any beds for him to sleep on. Are you fine with forcing your husband to sleep on the floor? What are you talking about? Jonas is my husband and he's on my side. We're both moving out together. So you don't need to worry about him. He'll be sleeping perfectly comfortably. What? But that's ridiculous. He doesn't need to move out, just you. His sister's going to give birth in a matter of weeks. He should be here by her side. Jonas and Ashley never had a particularly close sibling relationship. Then, after seeing what you and Ashley were doing and saying to me, he had enough. He said that if you guys were going to kick me out, then he was going to go with me. This can't be happening. What did you tell him? You must have told him a pack of awful lies to get him to do this to me. I didn't need to tell him anything. He's always told me that he's basically lived his entire life by looking at you and doing everything in the exact opposite way. That's why he's become such a good man. I was kind of confused when he first told me about that, but now that I've met you, it all makes total sense. I told you earlier today, Connie, you are my daughter-in-law, and I will not allow you to speak to me like that. Just like I won't allow you to steal my things. Bring it all back this instant. I already told you it's all mine, so that's not going to happen. Not to mention I'm the one who's been paying for practically everything around here to the tune of $5,000 per month. So if we're talking about what's mine and yours, I'll probably put enough money into that house to buy it outright. What? What do you mean? We've already been through this. I told you that I was leaving and taking the $5,000 I put into our expenses every month with me, didn't I? I meant every word of that. It would be nice to get a thank you for all I've done for you up until now, but I'm not holding my breath. You mean you were telling the truth? Let me put it to you this way. You're free to believe what I said or not. But at the end of the month, when all the bills come due, you're going to find out the hard way. And additionally, you spend most of your days God knows where doing God knows what. So I'm the one who's been doing nearly all of the housework for you. You're in for a very, very rude awakening now that I'm gone. Don't act like such a martyr for doing a few chores every now and then. I am a far more capable homemaker than you. I won't have any trouble at all. Not to mention I have my husband here to help me, and if you really were spending $5,000 a month, all I can say is you must have terrible spending habits. I'll be able to make do with much less. For your sake, I sure hope that's true. For my part, I've told you nothing but the truth tonight and done exactly what you told me to do. If you don't like it, that's your problem, not mine. You really are a nasty little woman, aren't you? I have no idea why my fine, upstanding son saw fit to marry a lowly woman such as yourself. If you cared about him at all, you'd divorce him and set him free. Again, we've been through this. Jonas is on my side. He's not going to divorce me just because you threw a temper tantrum. He's not going to divorce me at all, actually. We're in this for life. That's it. I can't talk to you anymore. I don't want to see your face or hear your voice anymore. Now that you're out of my house, I am going to be happier than I ever dreamed possible. And I won't have you coming around to mess it all up again, so I think I'll go ahead and block your number right now. Go right ahead. Goodbye, Talia.
Hey, Connie? I'm really sorry about yesterday. Things got pretty hectic. We really had to rush to get everything out the door before my mom got back. My legs and back are still tired from moving all that furniture, and I'll bet you're just as tired. But hey, I still see this as an overall positive for us. Thanks to my mom going crazy last night, I finally have the best excuse I could ask for to cut her out of my life. From now on, we'll be able to have a nice, peaceful, quiet life with just the two of us. One thing that concerned me, though, I was talking to my dad this morning. He told me that Mom was up way past midnight texting you. Is that right? He said her face was beet red and all scrunched up like she was super angry. She was probably getting on your case about everything. Was everything all right?
Yeah, she was not happy, to say the least. But yeah, I was fine. Thanks for asking, Jonas. You were so tired from moving that you had already fallen asleep by the time she started texting me. I figured there was no point in waking you up to tell you about it. We could just talk about it in the morning. And yeah, so you were right on target. She texted me complaining about all the stuff in the house being gone.
Yep, there's not much else that she would be talking to you about. But what I was really wanting to ask was, are you okay? Like, how are you doing with everything? It must be a lot to take in over such a short period of time.
Yeah, it is a bit much, but I'm less worried about myself and more worried about your dad. I feel really guilty for leaving him behind like that. I mean, your dad has always been incredibly kind and generous to me. I never had any problem with him. But he still had to just stand by and watch as we took all of our stuff and left. That couldn't have been a very pleasant experience for him. I'm worried that I was so angry at your mom that I went and did something to hurt your dad, which I never wanted to do.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I appreciate the fact that you're so concerned about my dad. For his part, he gave me his blessing to leave the house. He said that we didn't need to worry about him. All that he wanted was for us to enjoy our married life together.
That sounds just like your dad.
That's what he said anyway, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be really hard for him to deal with living in that house from now on. Not only are we leaving, but Ashley's moving in, and she's gonna be there for a while. That is not gonna be easy for him to deal with.
Yeah, I'll bet. Oh, hold on a second. I just got another text. Jonas!
Huh? What is it?
Great news! Like, the best possible news I could have gotten. We don't have to worry about your dad any longer. With this, he's finally going to be free.
Wait a minute. Do you mean you got the report already? No way! I never thought he would finish this quickly.
I'm just as surprised as you are, but he said he has everything we need. I still haven't read all of the fine details, but from what he's saying, I think this might be even bigger than we were imagining. We'll talk about that later in person, okay? The important thing right now is that we'll be able to make our move tomorrow. Today started on kind of a negative note, but now things are really looking up. Jonas, what is the meaning of this? We had a special delivery come to the house, which I thought was odd because I haven't ordered anything. But then your father said it was for him, and you would not believe what is happening right now. And imagine my shock when I found out that you were apparently in on the whole thing. It's all that awful Connie's fault, isn't it? You changed ever since you married her. She's completely corrupted your good heart with her evil lies. But it's not too late for you. I can still save you. You need to divorce that woman at once and come back home. Please, your family needs you. I need you.
Mom, how long are you gonna keep doing this? Even when you've been caught red-handed, you're still gonna try and claim that it's everyone else's fault but your own? You're the one who's in the wrong here. That's plain for anyone to see. This is all happening because you were thinking of yourself without any consideration for Dad or his feelings. It gives me no pleasure to be saying this, but after seeing what I've seen, I'm frankly embarrassed to be your son.
Jonas, no. I didn't raise you to be the kind of boy who talks to his own mother that way. What happened to you? Don't you understand what this means? Your father's going to divorce me at this rate. Is that what you want to happen?
It doesn't seem like it matters what I want to happen or not. Dad's gonna do what he needs to do. It's not my place to try and influence him one way or another. But regardless of his decision, you have only yourself to blame, Mom. And it's not like I'm a little kid anymore. I'm old enough to be able to handle my parents breaking up. But if you're asking me for my opinion, I think it's definitely in Dad's best interests for him to divorce you as soon as possible. He's worked so hard to support you over the years. He's been everything that you could have asked for in a husband. And this is how you repay him? By betraying his trust in such a cruel, disgusting way? You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Please, Jonas, you have to understand. I made a mistake. That's all this is. Ever since your father and I got married, all I've been is a housewife. And when you're a housewife, you have quite a bit of free time. And your father's a hard worker, yes, but you know what that means. It means that he's away at work for most of the day. So there I was, my housework all done for the day, nothing interesting on TV, and no husband to keep me company. I got lonely, and so I did what any normal person would do. I went out and found someone to keep me company.
Oh, give me a break. Is that really your excuse? Well, if you think I'm gonna buy that excuse for 1 second, you got another think coming. Yeah, Dad worked long hours in order to support you, by the way. But ever since we moved in with you guys, you've barely done anything around the house. You just shoved all the work onto Connie. So that's why you had so much free time, because you stopped doing housework, which was your only job. And you think having extra free time justifies finding someone to keep you company practically every day of the week?
What was I supposed to do? Talk to Connie? Oh, she hates me.
I think your behavior toward her has a lot to do with that, don't you? And besides, you could have, gone to a bridge club or taken up a hobby. Anything but have an affair with Ashley's ex-boyfriend's father. God, just the thought of the two of you together makes me want to puke.
Please don't talk that way about us. After all, he's the father of the man that Ashley fell in love with. It's only natural that we would have a connection. And when you think about it, Ashley isn't entirely innocent in all of this either.
Look, I have no interest in getting any more involved in my parents' relationship than I already am. Frankly, you shouldn't want me to get involved here. The only concerned parties are you, Dad, Ashley, her ex-boyfriend, and his father, your boyfriend. I only have 2 more things to say on this matter, and then I'm done. First off, don't you dare do anything to humiliate Dad any more than you already have. And second, don't you dare drag my wife into your mess any more than you already have. Those are not suggestions, those are not requests, they are demands. And if you violate either of them, I swear to you, as God is my witness, I will destroy you.
Connie, can we talk? I wanted an opportunity to apologize for my actions the other day. I'm terribly sorry for everything I've done to you. So please, can't you help me? There's no one else I can ask but you. My son is furious with me. And what makes you think I'm any less angry at you than he is? Seriously, I told you to never contact me again. What did you expect would happen if you came to me begging for help? You're partially responsible for this, too. My husband told me that you were the one who suggested he hire a private detective to follow me around. You knew about all of this, didn't you? Yeah, I did, actually. Your husband came to me a while back saying that he wanted to talk about you. He had noticed certain changes in your behavior and was suspicious from the start. All I did was tell him that my woman's intuition told me that something was definitely up with you. But all we had were our suspicions. We didn't have any evidence of what you were doing. So we decided that we should have you checked out to see if our suspicions were correct, and that's when I decided to talk to a private detective. I knew it! You were the one responsible for all of this! You should have kept your mouth shut. This was a matter between me and my husband. It didn't concern you. Ah, yes, the tried and true last resort of people with nothing else to say in their own defense. You shouldn't have noticed the bad things I'm doing. Well, newsflash, Talia, you and Ashley shouldn't have been doing those bad things in the first place. If you don't do anything bad, there wouldn't be anything for me to notice. And can you really fault me for noticing? You two practically weren't even trying to hide what you were doing. What? What are you talking about? Remember the other night when you went out to dinner with Ashley but didn't tell me? You know that night you accused me of being insensitive for having your dinner ready at the time you usually get home? It wasn't just you and Ashley at the dinner that night, was it? No, there were 4 people sitting at the table that evening. You and Ashley were there, of course, along with her ex-boyfriend and his father. I'll bet you were talking about all sorts of scandalous, salacious things that night, weren't you? No. How did you know about that? Have you been paying attention? We hired a private detective. He told us everything. I guess the 2 of you were all over each other whenever Ashley and her ex-boyfriend stepped away from the table. Seriously, you're almost old enough to have teenage grandchildren, and yet there you are acting like a couple of love-struck teenagers. But what in God's name was Ashley thinking? Meeting in secret with her ex-boyfriend while she's getting ready to give birth? I don't think her husband would be very happy to hear about that. Okay, fine, you're right. We both did some slightly inappropriate things that night. But enough about the past. I am worried about my future. All I want right now is to enjoy my life with my husband, Ashley, and her baby. I never wanted this to happen. If my husband really divorces me, then what am I supposed to do? How will I get by without him? That's your problem, not mine. Whatever the consequences of your actions are, you brought it all upon yourself. If you end up losing everything, then I can only say it's because you deserve to lose everything. I don't think you have any right to object after what you've done. I know that I've messed up. I already apologized for kicking you out of the house, and now I'm inviting you to come back and live with us. We can start over, be a family again. Wouldn't that be the best outcome for everyone? We can all forget our differences and move forward together. Be a family again? What do you mean again? You never treated me like family in the first place. And I never felt very much like you were family either. And it's like I said earlier, why in the world are you coming to me for help? It's painfully obvious that the only reason you're trying to pull the family card on me is because you're terrified of what's coming to you. Seriously, you're like an evil mother-in-law from a soap opera. I don't want to hear any talk about family from the likes of you. You've hurt the people around you far too much to be forgiven anymore. All that's left for you to do now is realize the weight of your sins and suffer the consequences. With an emphasis on the suffering part, that is. My father-in-law immediately filed for divorce after we got the report from the private detective. Given the length of her affair and the fact that she was seeing her boyfriend while her husband was working to support her, she received absolutely nothing in the divorce, no alimony, no property. She was kicked out of her husband's house and onto the street. I would be lying if I say that I didn't take some pleasure in that. I mean, the woman who tried to kick me out onto the street, getting her comeuppance in the most ironic way possible, that's just too good to be true. Talia didn't give up on begging me for help, though, and asked if I would be willing to take both her and Ashley into our home. When Jonas found out about that, he went berserk. He didn't mince words with the two of them. He told them that he would destroy them if they ever tried to drag me into their nonsense again. He filed for restraining orders against the both of them, which were granted without issue. But that wasn't quite enough. He was especially angry at his sister, since she's the one who introduced Talia to her ex-boyfriend's father. And she was also the driving force behind Talia kicking us out of their house. So he did the one thing that Ashley wanted to avoid at all costs. He told her husband about everything. Ashley's husband put her on final notice. If she ever met with Talia or her ex-boyfriend again, he would divorce her on the spot. Not wanting to lose her husband like Talia did, Ashley adhered to his demands and blocked Talia's number. It seems like Talia's dream of holding her grandchild in her arms will never come true. As for me, I owe a debt of gratitude to Jonas for how he stood up to his own mother for me. My goal for the future is to be a wife deserving of his love and respect. Hey, isn't Wyatt being awfully quiet today? It's kind of unusual for him to be this silent. I have a feeling that he's definitely up to something, isn't he? I can tell just by the way he's acting right now.
Huh? What's with you all of a sudden? Why are you making a big deal out of Wyatt being quiet? It's a wedding, so it's only natural to be polite and quiet, isn't it? I guarantee you, Allie, he's just trying to behave. I mean, it's our big day today.
That guy doesn't have any manners. There's no way he's suddenly behaving now without a plan up his sleeve. I can definitely sense that he's plotting something. It's so obvious. I can't believe you're falling for his act.
You're assuming that just because Wyatt is being quiet for once, he's plotting something against you? You're overreacting, Allie. Even a goofy guy like him must have reflected on his behavior after being scolded by you so many times recently. Besides, isn't it a good thing that he's being quiet for once? I mean, isn't this what you've always wanted? Come on, you were so fed up with his antics.
Well, of course, I was fed up with his cocky attitude. It was constantly annoying and draining to deal with him. That's why I'd be scared if he's suddenly acting all quiet and docile. Something doesn't feel right. I mean, he's even smiling. Don't you see that mischievous look on his face? It's so suspicious.
You've got to consider the fact that he's feeling remorse for his actions, Allie. He actually said the other day that he's been playing too many pranks on you lately. I'm sure he decided to be quiet today because he genuinely wants to change for the better and stop causing trouble.
I don't know about that. And even if that was the case, what about you? Are you feeling the same way as he is?
What does this have to do with me? Why are you dragging me into this? I don't understand.
You always cooperated with him and tried all kinds of tricks on me before. Don't act innocent now. Why are you acting like it's someone else's problem all of a sudden? You were just as involved as him. So I'm asking if you regret it, like you say Wyatt is. If he's sorry, shouldn't you be sorry too? You were both in on it, so don't pretend you weren't.
No, I don't feel any remorse for the pranks I pulled on you, and rightfully so. Today's our wedding day. It would be strange if the groom felt sorry for himself. We should be happy in this moment, don't you think?
No, I don't think it'd be strange at all. If he's sorry, you should be sorry too. How many times do I have to remind you that you were involved in this too? Well, I'm sure he's not actually sorry, and he's definitely up to something. Probably planning another prank. But still...
You know, you really are so childish and petty, Allie. You need to learn how to let things go sometimes. You get mad when we threw a piece of pie at you and stole your bike. You also got angry the time we flat-tired and burnt your bike. You take it too seriously every time.
What? Of course I would get angry, for goodness sake, my bike was on fire right in front of me. That's beyond the scope of a prank or surprise. You destroyed my belongings. Besides, why do you keep pranking me by attacking my bicycle? It's been targeted so many times.
Well, you don't see bicycles on fire very often. It's pretty rare. Worst case scenario, you might have never seen it in your life. Yet you were lucky enough to witness it firsthand, and it was all thanks to Wyatt and I.
It wouldn't bother me at all if I don't ever see something like that in my life. I would have been perfectly fine without it. I could have called the police that time, you know? That's how serious this whole situation with my bike was.
And I'm saying that your reaction to these things, including your little bike, is beyond petty. You need to understand that it was just a game between friends, but I guess you're not mature enough to do that.
Friends? I don't even consider Wyatt to be my friend. Don't try to justify what you've done to me by making him into my friend. He's just your coworker. To me, he's nothing more than that.
Don't be so cold. I know that despite everything, you like Wyatt just as much as I do, right? He's pretty funny, and he's not bad looking either. That's why we're thinking of becoming YouTubers. I think Wyatt and I would make a great team.
What? You're seriously considering becoming a YouTuber now? Where did this idea even come from?
Yes, we'll be YouTubers. Wyatt and I are really good at planning things out, and we have great ideas for content. We can make a lot of money if we make videos of our usual stunts. People will love watching them. Then if we're successful, I'll share some of the money we make with you. How does that sound?
Whatever. Suit yourself. I don't care anymore.
Just believe me when I say I'll make even more money than I already am and split it with you. So you better stop being cocky with me, okay? You should be more supportive of our activities. Isn't that your duty as a fiancé?
I'm your victim. Why would I support something like that when I'm the one being pranked all the time? If you want me to support you, then you're going to have to replace my damaged bike first.
Duh, you really are a brat with no sense of humor. You can't even take a joke or laugh it off. I'm reluctant to marry you because you're so boring. But I will anyway, just because of your good looks and nothing else. But just because I marry you, you better not be so full of yourself. Don't forget that you're a snob who doesn't deserve me, okay? Keep that in mind moving forward.
What are you saying all of a sudden? I'll tell you now, but I don't want to marry you anymore. You are not the person I want to be with.
What? We're about to begin the reception. We've invited so many guests and we've even received cash gifts from them. How can you call off the marriage under such circumstances? We've almost come full circle. You can't do that, can you? Think about the guests and everything that's been planned for today. You don't want to let them down, do you? I knew you couldn't do it. I know you're such a people pleaser, Allie. Besides, you think you owe your mother for raising you single-handedly, don't you? You want to get married soon to move out, to make her proud and give her peace of mind, right?
Stop bringing up my mother in our argument. Don't use her like that.
Why not? Are you embarrassed of your shabby old mother? Well, you should just grow up and marry me. It's the right thing to do at this point. There are some people from the company coming today. I invited all of my coworkers, even the executives. It would look bad if the ceremony were canceled, so you better not even think about doing that. Hey, Allie! Come on, don't be so upset about our wedding cake exploding. It's not a big deal. It's just a little surprise from a friend of mine. So let's get back to it and continue the ceremony like nothing happened. Hey, how long are you planning to stay in the dressing room? The guests are waiting for you. Everyone had a great time with the explosion, so there's really nothing to be mad about, right? This entire surprise was Wyatt's idea from the start. He's the one who thought it would be funny. He has some useful connections, and he used them to plant a very small bomb inside the wedding cake. Even though I knew it was going to explode at some point, I was still super nervous. By the way, this whole surprise is going to be our first video on our channel, so it's really exciting. I uploaded it as soon as I could after the prank. You should watch it, Allie. Allie, how long are you gonna sulk in there? You need to stop acting this way. It's childish. Don't be so immature about this. Quit hiding away and get out here already. You're gonna bother the wedding guests and delay the ceremony. Don't keep them waiting too long.
My daughter is in critical condition. She's currently unconscious.
What are you talking about? She's unconscious? Wait, hold on. First of all, who are you exactly?
I'm Allie's mother, Sharon. My daughter lost consciousness because of the explosion, and she's in surgery now.
Surgery? You're kidding me. What kind of surgery? How serious is this situation? I need an explanation.
Surgery is surgery. You wouldn't understand the medical details even if I told you. It's really bad. They don't even know if my daughter will wake up. She's in a critical state and things aren't looking so good. The shock was so severe that it seems all of her internal organs have stopped working completely.
How is that even possible? Is that really what the doctors said? I'm not sure I can believe this.
Oh, are you a doctor by any chance, Axel? I doubt it. What I told you is exactly what the doctor said, and you have no right to be skeptical about it. You're in doubt of what happened when Allie is suffering terribly right now. She is in agony because of what happened.
I'm sorry, but we didn't mean to hurt her. It wasn't supposed to turn out this way. Wyatt and I never had any bad intentions. We just wanted to surprise everyone a little. It was meant to be fun and lighthearted, not harmful. We thought this would make the celebration more exciting, and the guests would give us more cash gifts for it. That's why we did it.
Cash gifts in weddings aren't like bets from gamblers. You can't just throw in dangerous stunts like that. Anyway, what's important here is that Allie is in trouble because of your selfishness and thoughtless actions. Axel, how are you going to take responsibility for this? Have you thought it through yet?
You want me to take responsibility? That doesn't make sense because we didn't think it would turn out like this. It's not our fault.
Are you just going to keep making excuses and not take responsibility for what's happened to my daughter?
Okay, I'm not trying to avoid responsibility at all. I just don't know what to do. I'm completely lost in this situation. I never expected it to turn out like this. Could you please tell me which hospital you're at? I'll visit Allie right away.
So the wedding will be canceled, right? There's no way it can continue after what happened. First, you must apologize profusely to all the invited guests for what you've done, then refund every one of their cash gifts. Also cover their travel expenses that they spent to come here and to send them back home. You better make sure to handle this properly. This is your responsibility.
Are you serious? I can understand refunding the cash gifts, but you're saying I even have to cover their travel expenses?
Yes, of course you have to. It's only fair considering the inconvenience you've caused everyone. Also, many people were splattered with cake frosting from the explosion. Their suits and dresses were stained. Since their clothing was ruined, I also expect you to compensate them for those cleaning fees.
What? You want me to pay for that too? That's too much! You're going too far!
You said you're sorry for what you've done, correct? If you meant it when you said you truly regret what happened, then this much is only natural. You should be doing all of this without being asked. It's the responsible thing to do, don't you think?
I don't think you're understanding, Shannon. I'm struggling financially. It's going to be too difficult for me to compensate everyone to that extent.
I don't care if you find it difficult. That's not the problem here. All of what I've told you to do, it has to be done. Or would you prefer to be ordered to do it by the court after a legal decision is made against you?
What? Wait, you're considering taking us to court over this? I didn't realize things had gotten this serious.
Gosh, you're so oblivious. Can you seriously not see how furious I am with you and your reckless actions? You can't take back what you've done to my daughter. That's why I'm going to sue you for the damages caused by your thoughtless actions. I am sure the people who got covered in cake and frosting will also want to sue you for what's happened here. They'll for sure want compensation for the clothes that were ruined during the explosion. This matter doesn't involve just us, it involves everybody.
Okay, just wait a minute. Don't sue me, please. I understand, and I'll do everything you say. So please, I'm begging you, don't make this a bigger problem than it has to be.
You put your fiancé in a coma. Don't you remember that? I'm not making it into a huge deal because it already is one. Do you actually realize what you've done here? How many times do I have to explain it to you, Axel?
Believe me, I'm just in a bit of a panic right now. This is all so overwhelming. Tell me, what's Allie's situation now? What are the doctors saying about her condition?
I don't know. The doctors are busy in the operating room. All I keep hearing are screams coming from there, and they don't ever stop.
What? Allie's screaming? Isn't she unconscious? How is that possible?
She is screaming even though she's unconscious. That's just how much pain and suffering Allie is in, and it's all because of you and Wyatt.
What? Is Allie gonna be okay? This can't be happening.
I already told you I don't know. We're waiting for answers, so you need to go and handle the situation with your wedding. Just hurry up and go shut it down. There is no time to waste with everything going on right now.
Okay, I'll handle everything as quickly as I can.
Hi, Allie. It seems like the wedding ceremony has officially been cancelled. All the guests have been notified about the situation. Apparently, after telling the guests, Axel publicly apologized to everyone. He was on his knees, begging everybody for forgiveness. He also declared that he would return all the cash gifts and compensate everyone for their travel expenses. I see. Well, I heard from him that some people from his company were attending too, even the higher-ups. I can see why he had no choice but to do that. He doesn't want his stupid prank and the wedding cancellation to affect his reputation at the workplace. I understand, but Allie, when are you going to come forward and tell him the truth? Axel and Wyatt must be panicking right now, scrambling to figure out what to do next about the situation. If we don't do something soon, our story is going to fall apart and they'll know we lied about this. Then things will get out of control very quickly. Although I am tempted to let this facade go on a little longer, I want them to face the consequences of their actions even more. Mom, despite everything you've said about our plan, you're having so much fun with this. You are totally into it. You were completely against this idea in the beginning, weren't you? I can't believe this. Of course, as your parent, I would be against doing something like this. It's not a good thing to trick people. But making the wedding cake explode on your wedding day and ruining it, that's just unforgivable. Luckily you were unscathed, but you could have been seriously injured. What were they thinking, doing something so reckless? Axel and Wyatt, I can't ever forgive them for what they've done. They had the audacity to hurt my precious daughter. Mom, you're angrier than I thought about this situation. It honestly makes me happy. It means you care about me deeply, so thank you. Oh, don't thank me at all. I'm beyond worried for you, Allie, and for good reason. Why did you even decide to marry that man in the first place? Haven't you been through enough with him? You've been pulled into similar pranks before, haven't you? This isn't the first time he's done something like this. You should have broken it off years ago. Yeah, I agree with you, Mom, but it's more complicated than that. Allie, could it be that you married him just to give me peace of mind? You know, I'd be more concerned about what kind of future you'd have with a man who does dangerous things like this. Yeah, it's true. It's because you raised me single-handedly, and I know you always worry about my future and my security, especially with Dad gone. You've always cared about me so much, and I just wanted to ease your worries a little bit. What are you even talking about? It's completely normal for a parent to worry about their child. That's not a reason to marry whoever's in front of you. My goodness, marrying someone just to reassure me is insane. You're right. I can't believe I got married just because I was worried about making you feel better. But most of all, I'm worried about the way you choose your men. Your choices in partners are seriously concerning me. What? Is that really something to be worried about? Of course it is, even though a lot of Axel's flaws became apparent later on, like his rash decisions and immaturity. You chose to marry him despite the warning signs you've overlooked, didn't you? Well, yeah, I suppose that's true. I can't deny that I went ahead with our marriage, or we wouldn't be at a wedding venue right now. Exactly. I can't believe you fell in love with such a bratty, childish man. I've always sensed that you didn't have much taste in men, but I didn't think that it was this serious. Just take a look at the man you've tried to marry. I should have stopped you when I had the chance. Come on, Mom, I'm your daughter. That's a little harsh, don't you think? Did you really have to say that to me right now? I mean, our conversation was building up to such a touching moment. Allie, I'm not just pointing this out for no reason. I'm saying it because I care about your well-being. Marrying a man like that is like degrading yourself. You deserve so much better than someone who treats you this way. Okay, I get it, Mom. I really do. I'm sorry. I know I messed up. Honestly, your father was such a nice man, you know. There aren't many men like him out there. He passed away right after you were born, which is such a shame. And I've never met anyone as kind and sincere as he was. In fact, I don't think I ever will. You should really find someone like your father, someone who treats you with respect and kindness, understood? I know, I wish I could, but it's hard to find someone like that. I'll try my best, okay? Anyway, I'll handle the rest of the situation myself from here on out. Don't worry about me, Mom. I'll take care of it. Thanks for everything. I wouldn't have made it this far without your support. Okay, I know you've got this. You're doing great, Allie. And for the sake of your dignity, hurry up and get rid of that guy. Yeah, I know, Mom. It's time to move on and find someone who's actually worth it. Axel, thanks for handling the guests and letting them know about the cancellation.
Huh? Allie, you're finally awake! I just canceled the ceremony a moment ago. This is unbelievable. Why couldn't you have woken up just a little earlier? You just had to wake up after I went through all that trouble to deal with everything, didn't you?
What? Isn't this the part where you're supposed to be happy that I'm awake and okay?
Well, sure, I'm relieved that you woke up. It slightly eased my feelings of panic, but there's such a thing as timing, you know? Why couldn't you have woken up earlier? Do you have any idea how much debt I'm in now? Canceling a wedding and paying for the guests isn't cheap, you know? It's a disaster.
Do you really think I care? You deserved everything you got for pulling such a reckless stunt in the first place. I can't believe you're actually complaining about the timing of me waking up from my coma. Are you serious right now?
I have no other choice. I've been through a lot over here, too. You're not the only one dealing with things. My credibility in the workplace has been completely ruined. None of my coworkers trust me anymore. I'm in more trouble than you can imagine. I even got fired.
What? Is that really true? I had no idea.
I mean, of course they'd fire me. I went through the trouble of calling every executive from my company to attend this wedding. They come here despite their busy schedules. Now everything is canceled because of me. Of course that would anger them.
Hang on. Axel, you think you got fired because the ceremony was canceled? You really think that's the only reason?
Of course! What other reasons could there be? This happened because you couldn't read the room and lost control. What are you even talking about?
I think everything that happened to you is because you blew up the wedding cake during our ceremony. It's obviously the reason for all these consequences you're faced with right now. Getting fired by your boss and being met with cold stares from every guest in that venue. Everything.
Huh? No way! That explosion was the most exciting thing today! Everyone was super impressed, and I thought they were really into it. People were screaming and going crazy over the whole thing. I thought it was a great moment to liven things up.
Yeah, they were screaming all right, screaming in fear. It wasn't excitement at all. People don't start cheering when they suddenly hear a loud explosion. It's more shocking than anything else.
Maybe a socially awkward loner like you doesn't get it, but that was a ton of excitement. I bet everyone had a blast. You should believe me because even Wyatt thought it was awesome.
Just because Wyatt thinks the same doesn't help your cause one bit. You can't trust the opinions of people like that. He's just as misguided as you are. How about you check out the reactions to the video you uploaded to the internet? Maybe that will change your mind.
Oh, that's right. Thanks for reminding me. I bet it's going viral. This is our first video after all. It's bound to be a hit. Who wouldn't watch this and enjoy it? Wait, what does this even mean? What are all of these comments?
I just checked a while ago and I noticed the same thing. It's receiving a ton of backlash. Your video's viral only because it's so controversial. This is just what I expected. People are furious that you blew up a wedding cake in the middle of our ceremony. Who wouldn't be? No one is amused by this. It's not the kind of thing people find funny, especially at such an important event.
I don't understand. Why wouldn't they? It's hilarious if a wedding cake exploded out of nowhere.
Well, I wouldn't say it's not interesting at all. It's unexpected, sure. But like your video shows, the cake exploded out of nowhere. When that happened, I fell down, the audience screamed, and chaos broke out. I don't think it's funny when there's an explosion out of nowhere that causes people to panic and possibly get hurt. I guarantee the people who saw this video would think the same thing. It's more shocking than anything else.
What? None of these people have a sense of humor. I can't believe they're overreacting like this. I can't afford to get hated on for this. I'll lose even more credibility than I already have because of this video. Good thing I noticed early on. Oh, that was a close call. I almost didn't act fast enough to prevent further damage to our reputations.
What do you mean, a close call? Do you actually think you can do something to fix the damage you've done?
Of course, I already deleted the video, so everything will be fine now. There isn't anything more to worry about. Now all we need to do is cater our videos to the masses. We'll just have to make our humor a bit more mild so everyone can enjoy it.
Are you seriously saying that, Axel? I am honestly scared for you. You do realize that deleting the video doesn't solve anything, right?
Huh? What do you mean? The video was receiving backlash, so I got rid of the video. It was at the root of it all, and now it's gone. No one will come after us anymore, right?
Were you seriously trying to become a YouTuber with so little awareness of how the media works? This is unbelievable. Videos get reposted all over the internet, and even if you delete the original, they just keep reappearing everywhere. The video went viral, so it's too late. You can't just delete it and expect that to magically fix everything. Your reputation is worsening by the second.
What? You're right, the video's absolutely everywhere. Seriously, why? I deleted the video, that should have been enough. You people with no sense of humor are such a lame joke. You can't even appreciate a little fun anymore.
I don't think this is about humor at all. It's much more than that. Right after the video went up, it immediately started going viral, all because everyone thought you've done an awful thing.
Right after the video went up? Allie, how could you have known that? You should have been completely unconscious when I uploaded it.
What? Oh, was I unconscious at that time?
I knew it! I was always skeptical about it all. I knew something was off after the prank. You and your mother were in on this, weren't you? You did all that just to trick me and make me believe I hurt you.
Well, you don't have to be so upset about it. Don't worry about it too much. That's all in the past now, isn't it?
Are you kidding me, Allie? This isn't okay. You deceived me. You're an absolute liar.
Two can play at this game. You lied to me too, Axel. Right before the reception, you told me that Wyatt was acting all quiet because he felt sorry for all the pranks he's pulled on me in the past.
Well, that's whatever. It's true that Wyatt might not have been regretting his past actions, but your lies are far more malicious than mine. Pretending to be unconscious for such a long time is seriously in poor taste. How could you do something like that? I even got fired from my job because of you. Do you realize how much trouble you've caused me?
You deserved it, Axel. Everything that happened to you is because of your own actions, and now you're facing the consequences.
What's your problem? How can you say that I deserved all of these terrible things? Wait a second. No, you're right. It really was my fault. I've been in the wrong this whole time, and I'm finally realizing it.
What? Why are you admitting that all of a sudden? This isn't like you.
Allie, I'm so sorry. I sincerely apologize for everything that happened today and for everything I've done up until now. It's true that Wyatt and I got carried away with our pranks and we scared you a lot. We crossed the line and you didn't deserve that treatment at all. I'm really sorry about this. That's why I'm asking you to forgive me.
It's too late. You made fun of my mom, and that's why I'm not going to forgive you. Ever. I don't care about what you do to me. I probably would have been able to put up with most of it, but what you did to her, calling her names, it's unforgivable.
If that were the case, why did you pretend to be unconscious? You didn't have to go through all this trouble and get so many people involved. This problem is just between the two of us, and it's easy to solve. We should have settled things by ourselves.
Okay, just calm down. Jeez, me pretending to be unconscious is just a prank I wanted to pull on you. You shouldn't get so mad at me for catching you off guard. It was just a joke after all. Where did your sense of humor go?
Hey, this isn't fair! I'm being serious! Can't you see that?
This is exactly what you've been doing to me all along, isn't it? So why don't you stop overreacting and take a joke for once? Wow, Allie, you're practically a celebrity now. That video of Axel's is going viral. Have you read what everybody's saying about you online? Many people commented on how beautiful you are. Oh, you're getting quite a lot of attention. Well, I really don't want to be famous for the wrong reasons, especially not from a video blowing up with negativity. I'm so proud to have you as a daughter. I can't believe that you're so famous now. But there's also people commenting on how you decided to marry such an immature man. Mom, stop doing that. You're never going to stop teasing me, are you? All jokes aside, I'm glad you were trying your best to make me feel reassured by trying to marry him. Thank you, Allie. I'm really proud to be your mother. You're the best daughter I could ask for. Mom, thank you. That means a lot to me, especially coming from you. I'm so proud to have you as a mother as well. You've done so much for me, and I'm beyond grateful for it, Mom. Now that we're closer to each other again, there are so many things we can work on together. I'm going to start by helping refine your taste in men so things like this won't happen again. The wedding ceremony was officially canceled, and Axel was left responsible for paying all the expenses of it in full. He was not satisfied with the decision, feeling as though things had been unfairly settled against him from the start. His parents took the situation extremely seriously. They even went as far as to promise to cover damages for my emotional distress. Wyatt's parents were equally displeased and made him pay for the same damages. As a result, both him and Axel were left with an enormous amount of debt. They're working tirelessly at several part-time jobs trying to save up the money to cover those enormous costs. By doing this, they're somehow managing to just barely save some money to start paying me back. Allegedly, they are exhausted every day with little rest. Additionally, the chaos from the video they uploaded really stirred up a lot of attention and made quite the impression on everyone involved. This commotion caused such a big scene that neither of the two can walk around in public freely anymore. It's been an unbelievable first appearance for them as YouTubers, creating quite the opposite of a positive reaction. However, they've still gained some recognition despite it all, even if it's for all the wrong reasons. I thought that if he ever continued his work as a YouTuber in the future, Axel might end up being a big topic of conversation. But due to everything that happened at the wedding, Axel and Wyatt have fallen out with each other and their friendship is completely fractured. Without each other, they really can't do anything, and their plans to be famous on the platform are falling apart quickly. Maybe by splitting these two apart, the unfortunate turn of events will bring a little more peace and quiet to the world. After everything, my mom has started to interfere with my new relationships out of worry for me. She's likely very concerned about my taste in men after this disaster, thinking that I need better judgment going forward. So, I was wondering for a long time why you never went to college. I mean, you look like a plain old career-focused woman, but now I come to find out your family is a bunch of farmers? That answers my question, doesn't it? You didn't go to college because you couldn't go to college. You're just a dirt poor farmer. Seriously though, you do not look at all like someone with just a high school diploma. It's kind of comical how big the gap is between your appearance and your real stature. No, that's actually not the reason I didn't go to college. It's simple, I just had something else that I wanted to do. And that something didn't require a college education. Why would I spend tens of thousands of dollars, not to mention precious years of my life, pursuing a college education when I didn't need one? Oh, sure, Alyssa, I totally believe you. For real. So, what's up with the way you dress every day then, huh? How come you're always dressed to kill like you do? Is it because you wish you would have chosen the path of an elite businesswoman instead of shoveling hay all day? You don't shovel hay, you use a pitchfork. I don't actually work with hay, though. As for my appearance, I don't know what's so mysterious about it. I just like to look my best, that's all. I mean, for better or for worse, a lot of people in this world judge people based on appearance. If that's the case, I may as well use the physical blessings I've been given to my advantage. Uh-huh, right. Well, I bet you could land just about any guy you want if you keep dressing like that. Is that what you're after? You can't make any money because you don't have a college degree and your family is a bunch of dirt poor farmers. So you're trying to get yourself a rich husband to take care of you. I mean, women from farming families basically only have two choices. Marry a guy richer than you to escape the farm life, or else be stuck planting corn until the day you die. No, this may be hard for you to believe, but I dress the way I do because I like it, not to impress anyone else. You're such a liar. But man, it was such a relief when your brother told me he wasn't going to inherit the family farm. If I had to spend the rest of my life as a farmer's wife, I think I would have broken up with him. Like, who wants to live on a frickin' farm? That's the kind of thing low IQ losers do. And I am way too intelligent and beautiful to waste away getting lost out in the cornfields. Okay, Julie, you think you can cool it with bashing farmers like that? Seriously, why do you talk so hatefully about them? If it weren't for farmers, you wouldn't have any of the food you eat, you know? Vegetables, fruit, eggs, milk, meat. Thank a farmer for all of that. Uh-oh, looks like I struck a nerve. Sorry, Alyssa, did I hurt your feelings by being a little bit too honest? You're right, I should have been more sensitive. Even though your parents are stupid, illiterate, uncultured farmers, that doesn't change the fact that they're your parents. I've been trying to tell you, you have the completely wrong deal about us. My family aren't actually farmers. My dad just bought a small farm after he retired and started raising some fruits and vegetables as more of a hobby for his retirement. Wow, I've got to hand it to you. You are really committed to defending your stupid farmer parents, Alyssa. But really, it's okay. You don't have to defend them to me. I don't care that they're a couple of imbeciles that probably can't even read at a 4th grade level. Honestly, I don't care much about your upbringing at all. Just like I don't care that you're trying and failing to become a writer or whatever. Seriously, none of that matters to me in the slightest. Right. Well, there are an awful lot of things that I want to say to you right now. But you know what? I'm not even going to bother. You're free to think whatever you'd like of me and my family. Why are you here, Alyssa? This is my wedding day. Why do you think I'm here? I'm here to celebrate your wedding with you. So, if you don't mind, could you explain why in the world you just threw a glass of wine all over me? Because you weren't invited. I don't care if you're my fiancé's family. That doesn't make you my family. Actually, as a matter of fact, it does. Ugh, for the love of God, would you get with the picture already? You are a bunch of farmers. Your brother, however, is a high-powered executive. He's president of his own company. I see. So you're saying all of us farmers weren't invited? Oh, so you can read English. Oh, good for you. You must have been studying. There are 500 people at this wedding, and they're all my fiancé's employees. Manure-eating farmers like you don't belong here. I don't need you lot hanging around us to mooch off of your brother's success. Get out of here now. What the? You think we're here to try and mooch off my brother's success? Yeah, why else would you be here? I'll bet you guys were really excited, weren't you? You probably thought today was going to be the first time in years that you've had a proper meal. Well, Too bad. You're not invited. So get back in your buggy and have your horse pull you back to the farmhouse you came from. And I hope you got a really good look at my face before I dumped that wine on you, because you're never going to see me again. You are hereby banned from contacting me or your brother. I see. Can I get that in writing? I told my dad about that, and he seems pretty excited about the prospect, too. What are you doing here? Is this your attempt at putting on a strong face? How pathetic. What were you thinking, anyway? A bunch of farmers would never be welcome at a fancy wedding like this. I would have laughed if it weren't so insulting that you even showed up. I see you've made your decision, then. Just so you know, it's too late for you to turn back now. Oh, no, I'm so scared. What will I ever do without you guys coming around my house and tracking mud all over the place? Okay, well, you know what they say. Be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. What's going on? Where is everyone going? All 500 of our guests are leaving? And why did they all listen to your dad? All he did was say, okay, everyone, show's over, we're leaving. And then everyone actually left? And what about you guys? Where did you go? Get back here this instant. I tried to tell you, it's too late for you to turn back now. This doesn't make sense. Why would they all obey the command of some smelly old farmer? What did you do, Alyssa? Apparently you didn't know this, but the truth is that the company my brother runs now used to be my father's company. What? Yeah, he just passed it on to my brother when he retired. My dad ran that company for close to 30 years. All the employees still respect him a lot, so much that they still obey his orders even after he retired. Wait, are you telling the truth? I mean, your dad told everyone to go, and they really did leave. Now the only people left in the chapel are me and my fiancé. Aw, is that right? Well, sucks to be you. I guess none of the employees have very much respect for their new president. That's not true. Sure it is, and as evidence, they're all talking to my father right now. They're begging him to come back to the company, saying that they can't handle my brother's leadership any longer. You're joking. They're really saying that? No way, I don't believe you. Your brother tells me that things are going just fine at the company. You're welcome to believe whatever nonsense my brother is telling you, but I'm telling the truth. I'm looking at all the company executives practically on their knees in front of my dad, begging him to come back. And my dad's even saying that he doesn't want to leave the company in his son's hands. But even if that's true, and I'm not saying I believe it, then all your dad needs to do is train your brother how to run the company or something. Well, that's the problem right there. In order to teach someone something, they have to be willing to learn, and my brother isn't. He's been vehemently opposed to any sort of hard work ever since he was a kid. My dad's been trying to teach him about business for quite some time, but all my brother ever did was daydream about using his authority to make people do all his work for him. And boy, does he ever love abusing his authority and pushing people around. You have to realize that too, don't you? Well, I guess he does like to talk up the fact that he runs a company. But, I mean, he does, though. He is running the company, and it is more than 1,500 employees. So it's not like he's just relying on that authority alone. He has real business skills. Do you really think so? The only reason he wanted to be the company president was so he could sit in a comfortable chair in a big office. He never does anything for the company. It's like he thinks that the president never had to do anything except watch while his employees do everything. He does think that, though. And it's basically true, isn't it? Presidents don't do all that much. They delegate. Well, to be fair, in some companies, yeah. Depending on the industry, some companies could operate just as well without a president. But that's not the case for this one. Most of the company's business requires regular, difficult decision-making from the top. But my brother never even listens to the employees. He just spends all day playing video games in his office. We've gotten a ton of reports from him screaming profanities from his office whenever he gets killed. Wait, people tell that stuff to you? But why? You don't need to know that. Originally, the plan was for me to take over the company after my father retired. But like I told you, I wanted to walk a different path in life, so I turned it down. My brother was really jealous that my dad wanted to give it to me over him. Given how different my brother and I are, though, you can't blame my dad for making me his first choice. And even though I don't even work at the company anymore, a lot of the employees still respect me as though I were an executive. That shouldn't matter, though. Your brother is the president, and today is his wedding. Why would all the employees obey your dad over him? For someone like you, who sees being president as nothing but organizational power, I can understand why you would think that way. But that's not how business works. Employees are humans. They have hearts, feelings, emotions. If employee morale drops, then the company falls apart. And if the employees don't want to follow the president, then for all intents and purposes, he's not the president. But they're ruining my wedding! Yeah, I suppose they are. Maybe if you were slightly better of a person than my brother, then I might feel bad about what's happening. I might even feel some responsibility as your future sister-in-law to make sure things went as planned. But you came over to me and threw a glass of wine in my face, so it seems like you're just as much of a dirtbag as my brother. And as such, I'm not going to lift a single finger to save you from the mess you've made. You can't do this to me. This is our wedding. It's supposed to be the happiest day of our lives. But now all of our employees are turning their backs on us. This can't be happening. No, you've got it backwards. My brother is the one who betrayed all the employees. It wasn't always this bad. At first, the employees were more than willing to work with my brother and help him become more capable of filling my dad's shoes. But how did he repay them for their good faith? By throwing it in their faces. He was nothing but a lazy, overbearing jerk from day one, and it only got worse when he started dating you. I've been getting reports from employees at all levels of the company since he took over about how terrible he is to work for. Those traitors! How could they betray their own boss like that? I see that you're still determined to blame everyone but yourself. Have you really never stepped back for a moment and considered that maybe, just maybe, you are at fault? All that's going to do is push away the people who may once have felt inclined to help you. But they have to do this today of all days? Can't they just hold in their contempt for us until our wedding is over? Sure, maybe he's not quite as good of an executive as your dad was. They didn't have to blow up on us now. I suppose you feel the same way about how you derided my family as being a bunch of poor, illiterate farmers, too. We're supposed to let that slide because today is your wedding? Well, I mean, it is our wedding day. You know, I thought it was odd that my brother hid the fact that he inherited the company from my dad, but I'll bet that was just because he wanted to make himself seem more impressive to you. And he wanted to keep us away from the wedding for the same reason. He thought we'd blow his cover. Then, after the wedding, you cut us off and he'd never have to worry about you finding out. Well, sorry to say, but the business world isn't that forgiving of a place. His shenanigans end here. What's that supposed to mean? It means my dad is coming back to the company. What? Your fiancé is fired. My dad's going to take back control of the company to turn it back around, and I'll be taking over the family farm in his place. What the? I don't understand. You can't do that. Can you? At this rate, there's no way my brother is going to shape up as a leader. If no one's willing to follow the leader, then the company will go under before the next fiscal year begins. So my dad's brilliant plan was to start up a new company that does exactly the same thing as the old one. And when he does, he'll issue a cordial invitation for all the current company employees to join his new one. But if that won't work, he has 1,000,001 other ideas to crush my brother. If you don't want that to happen, then I suggest you and he play along and do as we say. This can't be happening. Anyway, it's too bad about your wedding. I hope you come to understand exactly how weak of a position you're in.
Hey, Alyssa, thanks a bunch for yesterday. I guess you really gave that succubus a piece of your mind, huh? Your dad told me all about it. Man, I can't tell you enough how relieved I am to hear that he's making a comeback. And it's not just me, all the other employees feel the same way.
Hey, Sawyer, you don't need to thank me. I was glad to be the one to give her a reality check. I should be apologizing to you, honestly. The wedding was a real mess because of me, and you all got dragged into our family matters. And now there are going to be even more disruptions to the company's operations. Tell all the guys in the office that I'm sorry for me, would you?
Nah, you have absolutely nothing to apologize for. I mean, none of us had any idea this would happen. We all were excited for the passing of the torch to a new generation of leadership when your dad retired. And now that he's coming back, Everyone is feeling more motivated than we have since he left. To be honest, though, I'm pretty surprised that your brother and his wife gave up so easily. I'm almost wondering if they've got something up their sleeves.
Yeah, I was surprised at that myself. But in any case, for the time being, things seem to be going as planned. I've been getting reports here and there from employees before now. But now that my brother's officially on the way out, I'm getting a flood of brand new reports. Like, how much of a monster was my brother, anyway?
Oh, you wouldn't believe some of the stories I've heard. But to be fair, your brother is something of a victim himself. I feel bad for him, honestly. Like, his fiancée was fooling around with his own employees. That's gotta hurt.
Whoa, hold on. This is news to me.
Wait, really? You mean to tell me you didn't know about that? You said you had been hearing from other employees, so I thought you would have heard. I mean, it's practically an open secret in the office.
Yeah, no, I've not heard anything about this, but I would very much like to hear everything. I mean, I don't really have a stake in what happens between the two of them anymore, but you've piqued my curiosity.
Okay, then shall I start from the beginning?
Yes, please. Oh, but wait 1 second. I want to get some popcorn ready. This sounds like it's going to get really interesting.
All right. Well, here goes.
You told him? I don't believe this. You actually told him. Why would you do that? This sucks. Thanks to you meddling in affairs that don't concern you, we just had a massive fight. Uh-oh. Looks like the honeymoon's over. But really, Julie, you have to see that this is no one's fault but your own. If you didn't want to risk your relationship, then you shouldn't have been sleeping around with as many of the company's men as you could. Don't change the subject. We're talking about you, not me. Why would you know about that? I told you, I have a lot of friends in the company. Whatever goes on there eventually makes its way to me. Word on the street is that you two were planning on waiting for my dad to bring the company back into the black and then take it back from him. But thanks to your legendary indiscretion, that dastardly plot has now been foiled. This cannot be happening. Why would those morons go and tell you that? All they had to do was keep their big fat mouths shut, and all of us would have been better off. I have to admit, I had you all wrong, Julie. I thought you were just trying to make connections in order to secure my brother's position as president. That way he could continue to play video games while pulling an executive salary. And you would never have to work a day in your life. But as it turns out, my brother didn't know anything about your secret meetings with his employees. You were just sleeping around. Don't judge me. I mean, you've been around the office before. You know that this company is full of hot young men. You'd be doing exactly what I did if you had the chance. And consider my position. I was set to get married. I only had a few months left to have fun. And there was no shortage of absolute studs at the company. So I figured I would enjoy my youth and femininity while I could then quit once we got married. I'm serious. We weren't married yet, so what's the big deal? The big deal is that cheating is still cheating, even if you're not married. If I were him, I would kick you to the curb without a second thought. But at any rate, that's a problem for you and him to talk about. I would rather not get involved if at all possible. If you want my objective assessment, I think you should plan on being single again in the very near future. Now, I think that's enough talk about your salacious social life. Let's talk about more important things now. Namely the fact that you've been spreading false rumors about my father in a desperate attempt to keep my brother's position as president. You're not going to get away with that. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, please, let's not act like children, all right? I received a tip regarding a particular social media account that's been making all sorts of libelous statements. After a brief investigation, I can state definitively that you and my brother are the ones behind that account. You can't prove that. What evidence do you have? The fact that it's the same account my brother was using the last time he got sued for defamation? Wait a second. He's done this before? Yep. He had a crush on one of his high school classmates, and when she spurned his advances, he started defaming her on social media. She confronted him about it, and he confessed, so she sued him for libel. The damages were nominal, but he had to put in a lot of extra hours at his part-time job to pay it off. Plus, he did admit to using that exact account, so you'll have a hard time denying that you were the ones making the defamatory statements. And now he's gone and done the exact same thing with the exact same account. And this time, his targets are my dad and I? Seriously, that idiot never learns. No way. You mean he's really done this before? That moron! He lied to me! He said that he was using an anonymous account, so there was no chance he would ever get caught. Well, I guess he must have forgotten that it was established in court that he was the owner of the account. Okay, look, you have to understand the whole defamation thing was all his idea. I had no part in it. I would never do anything so devious as defaming someone from an anonymous social media account. Aren't you forgetting something very important? Something that we were talking about just a few moments ago? You were cheating on your fiancé with several of his own employees. So I don't think you have any right to be calling anyone's actions devious. I guess you have a point. Okay, well, I think that just about covers everything. Neither you nor my brother will ever have any position of authority in this company again. You won't even be able to get a job cleaning the office bathrooms. Also, since my brother always just left all the decision-making up to his subordinates, he never actually gained any business acumen. So I doubt he'll have much success finding a job elsewhere. You may just wind up being homeless, but if that happens, I hope you'll remember one very important thing. It's all your own fault. Wait, so what are we supposed to do now? I mean, we just got married. I was just about to start my new life as a pampered housewife. I would recommend you get to work on a plan B very, very soon. Based on how many men you cheated on him with, I doubt he'll allow you to be a full-time housewife. Perhaps a good place to start would be dusting off your resume. Let's work on a solution that doesn't involve me having to work, okay? I know. Why don't you get your father to forgive his son and let him work at the company again? That way he'll be able to gain business skills and one day take over the company for real. That's not gonna happen. He almost ran my father's company into the ground, and then he turned to defamation in order to keep control over it. Then there's the matter of your hateful words towards me and my family. There's no coming back from this for you. And worst of all, I'm in the best possible position to do even more damage to you. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? You said the other day that I failed at becoming a writer? Well, you're dead wrong. I've written multiple books that have hit the top 10 on the bestseller list. Not only that, I have a wildly successful blog on the side, with hundreds of thousands of people reading me every day. And guess what I've decided to write about for my next post? No, you can't be serious. Oh, but I am. I'm going to tell the entire world about what you've done. When I'm through with you, everyone in the country is going to know about my incompetent brother and his unfaithful wife. Soon after that, Julie and my brother came to visit my dad and begged for forgiveness. My dad, however, was unmoved by their desperate pleas. He officially disowned my brother, kicked him out of the house, and wrote him out of his will. As for me, I kept my promise and wrote all about the two of them on my blog. It was my biggest post yet by far. I got millions of hits almost overnight. If this keeps up, I might be able to make a living on my blog income alone. Maybe I'll send Julie and my brother a fruit basket to thank them for providing me with inspiration. I might have trouble in sending it to them, though, because after my brother lost his job, they lost their house. From what I understand, they both got jobs at a factory outside the city that has free employee housing. Julie insulted farmers for supposedly smelling like manure, but I doubt she comes home at the end of the day smelling very well.